Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam, sir.
It is in the name of Allah, the Beneficent, the Most Merciful. And in the name of His last messenger, the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, I am able to greet you, brothers and sisters, of the greetings of peace and paradise of Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam, sir.
As customary, Brother Minister first, I appreciate him asking me to have a few words to open up with you. So I'll be brief and kind of give you the opening of what we have. But at first, let's all join in prayer. And we put our feet at a 45-degree angle and our hands as if we're receiving the blessings from the Lord. In the name of Allah, the Beneficent, the Most Merciful. All holy praise is due to Thee, O Allah, the Lord of the worlds. The Beneficent, the Merciful, Master of the Day of Judgment. Thee do we serve, and Thee alone do we beseech for help. Guide us on the right path, the path of those upon whom You bestow favors, and not of those upon whom Thy wrath is brought down, nor of those who go astray after hearing Thy teachings. Amen.
Amen.
So I realized in the prayer I made a mistake. A prayer is a prayer. We love to have a prayer. We have an opening and a closing prayer. That was the closing prayer, but that's okay. So we just acknowledge what we do and keep it moving. Right?
Yes, sir.
But it's a blessing to be here. Before we bring up Brother Minister Daniel, I wanted to get us warmed up with a concept that we got to keep getting familiar with, and this concept came from our dear beloved leader and teacher, the Honorable Elijah Muhammad.
Yes, sir.
He talks about an old world going out and a new world coming in. And he also talks about this being the dawn of a new day.
That's right.
Well, let's examine the day that we live in. And let's examine these teachings, which is based in the scriptures of the Bible and the Quran, both allude to an old world going out and a new world coming in.
Yes, sir.
But we, coming out of triple darkness, have had a lot of misconceptions and have been deceived as to what it looks like for an old world to go out and a new world to come in. That triple darkness is the ignorance that they placed us in.
That's right.
You know, it was their brothers over there in Britain that taught them how to educate the slave and keep them a slave.
Yes, sir.
So when we were first brought here, we weren't even allowed religion. We weren't even allowed Christianity. But they first educated us with Christianity to give us the education of religion to keep us in darkness.
That's right.
When the religion is supposed to bring you into the light. But the devil used it to put you in darkness, knowing that you was already in darkness, that you'd be easy, gullible to fall for.
That's right. Teach.
As a matter of fact, a lot of our people wake up in the morning and feel like they got woke. The original woke term came from our people.
Yes, sir.
Somebody took it from what it used to be for what we had in the early 2010, 2012. They was talking about being woke again.
Yes, sir.
But their waking up was getting out of one stage of darkness and jumping back into another stage of darkness.
Yes, sir.
So we didn't realize that the devil had to get us in darkness to put us in darkness. Had we been in light, we'd have never fell for any of his tricks in the first place.
That's right.
So he came and grabbed a superstitious people. And so I want to talk about the superstition in the concept of the old world going out and the new world coming in. We hear terms all the time like the hereafter. Well, when we talk about the hereafter, our people seem to think about a thereafter. But it was never called a thereafter. It was called a hereafter. And so this is about the subject of the old world going out and the new world coming in. The new world coming in isn't a thereafter. It's a hereafter. As the Honorable Elijah Muhammad teaches us, here after the removal of the present rulers of the wicked world.
Come on. That's right. Yes, sir.
So we don't even research words like world. We think world automatically means the entire planet Earth. It can be the Earth. It can be your backyard. You got the underworld.
That's
You got
right.
the music world.
Teach.
You got the business world,
Yes, sir.
right? And now we have what we call the old world battling against the new world. And when that old dark world battles against that new world of light, we call it the dawn of a new day. And in the dawn of a new day, there isn't a clear, apparent moment where it is darkness and then there is light. They come up simultaneously. At one point, it isn't as dark. And so now the light comes in and battles and wrestles with the darkness in the dawn of a new day.
Wake us up.
And so now a lot of our people is waiting for something to happen, not knowing that they sitting here living in it while it's happening.
That's right. Teach. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
We're waiting on the conclusion of the war of Armageddon.
Yes, sir.
We're waiting on the conclusion of the apocalypse. We're waiting on the conclusion of the day of judgment, not knowing that we was living in that day right now.
That's right. Yes, sir. Teach.
Because in that dawn of a new day, that light and that darkness goes into a battle. And for a moment, you're not sure if it's light outside or if it's dark outside.
Wake us up. Yes, sir.
Right?
That's right.
But the old world is battling against the new world coming in. What do we mean by world? We mean about the government, the ruler. Who's the ruler? The ruler, according to the scriptures, is Israel.
Teach.
Israel is what Jacob became.
That's right.
Jacob tricked his brother and his father out of the birthright.
Yes, sir.
Jacob is called in the scriptures a heel catcher. A heel catcher is a snake. Jacob is also called a supplanter. A supplanter is an imposter.
That's right. Make it plain.
Right?
Yes, sir.
Jacob was promised to be able to have, as my brother minister said, the dominion over the people. That's the rulership over the people.
That's right.
Right?
Yes,
His
sir.
name became Israel. Israel means, according to their own books, to rule as God. It didn't say to rule with God. It didn't say to rule like God. It didn't say rule under God. It just said to rule as God. So now we have Jacob and Israel, a heel catcher, an imposter, ruling as God. God didn't come to fix and help Israel. God came to destroy Israel.
That's right.
God came looking for the lost sheep in the house of Israel.
Come on.
Israel
Yes,
had
sir.
something in it that it didn't belong to it.
That's right.
And in this day and time, you see the old Israel being in unison with the new Israel. And so now they wanted to establish that old Israel as the battling power against the new Israel. And now they're going to war against the old Islam. And they didn't forgot, as the song say, they didn't forgot about Dre. They didn't forgot about Esau. Esau would have the dominion in the end. Right? And so as they're battling this out, the old world versus the new world. We look at the flag of Islam under the sun, moon, and stars is a universal flag. Why do we call it a universal flag?
Wake us up.
Because this flag not only is true and proper all over the earth, but it's true and proper all over the universe.
That's right. Yes, sir.
This flag includes the entirety of the universe is represented in this flag.
That's right. Yes, sir.
It's not about what some guy built. It's about what God built.
That's
It's
right.
undeniable.
Yes, sir.
Because everything in the universe appears as under the sun, the moon, and the star.
Yes, sir.
When you're on the earth and you look out, you see the stars.
That's right.
When you see a planet from the earth, it appears as a star.
Yes, sir.
If you go to the planet that appears as a star and look back at the earth appears as a star.
That's right. Teach.
Over here we got 50 stars.
Yes, sir.
Over here we have one star.
That's right.
God can only be represented by two numerical numbers. Every other number is blasphemous to represent God.
Yes, sir.
There's only two numbers that you can use to represent God in the number line. That number is 1 and infinity. Where you have 1, you have infinity.
That's right. Yes, sir.
Infinity is wrapped up in the power of 1.
Yes, sir.
But 50 is a finite number. There's nowhere in the universe where you can look up into the sky and see 50 stars.
That's right. Yes, sir.
I don't care where you are, what mountain you are, what cave you crawl under. You're never going to look out there and see 50 stars.
That's right.
You're going to see an infinite amount of stars.
Yes, sir.
All of the stars of the universe is represented by that one star.
That's right. Yes, sir.
See? And so this is the teachings and the science that we have to understand.
Yes, sir.
And the messenger gives to us in our lessons, can a devil fool a Muslim?
Good question.
And the answer is not nowadays.
That's right.
Well, he's been fooling a lot of people who call themselves Muslims.
Listen.
And they just now slightly starting to catch on.
Yes, sir.
They could have had the power all along to defeat the devil, but they didn't know who the devil was.
That's right.
The devil had but one superstar power to deceive the nations. He's not stronger. He don't have more muscles. He don't have more brains.
That's right.
What he has is the ability to be invisible. He's the invisible man. And the only man that called him out and showed him to the world was the teachers of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad.
That's right. Yes,
And
sir.
the world has rejected the teachings of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad to their own demise.
That's right.
Because he made the invisible man visible and in plain sight. And had he been visible all this time, the old world Muslims wouldn't still be out there having those struggles with him.
That's right.
But the reason they're having struggles with him is because they still represent the old world. See, there's a side in them in what they practice. What they practice is a Ramadan that is based on a lunar calendar,
Yes, sir.
right?
Teach.
But the Quran and the Honorable Elijah Muhammad teaches us that a year has always been 365 days.
That's right. Yes, sir.
So if the Quran and the Messages teaches us that a year is 365 days, where do you get less than 365 days from to tell me that I should participate in your Ramadan? Well, I'm going to tell you where they got it from. The Messenger in the Hadith to Live asked the question about Ramadan, saying he doesn't understand and he can't give them an idea of why they should practice in the month that they subscribe. And he ascribed to us the month of December,
Yes, sir.
which, by the way, their Ramadan fell on the last month anyway.
That's right.
So even by their own standards, we're correct, right? By their own standards, we're correct, but this is about a misunderstanding from the old world, because the old world people are full of superstition. I'm going to show you what the sign means that they're listening to and what they're following. They're following the lunar calendar because they represent what we call in history, they called it the Dark Ages.
Speak on it.
And in the Dark Ages, you rely on the light of what? The moon.
Boom.
Now, the moonlight is true enough It's not that the moonlight ain't the truth. It's just that the moonlight is a reflection of the sunlight.
That's
It
right.
ain't the real thing.
Yes,
The
sir.
real light and the source of the light hasn't come yet.
Mm.
So since you were given your understanding under the moonlight, by the moonlight you're continuing to show where your understanding lies.
Mm.
And you have not yet come into the light of the sun,
That's right.
right?
Yes, sir.
And so this moonlight that was given to them, they don't understand that the 23 years that the Quran was revealed, they were fasting for the revelation of the Quran. Well, the Quran was revealed over 23 years. After the 23 years and the Quran was revealed, it null and voided the necessity of the fast.
That's right. Teach. Yes, sir.
Right? But we're under the sunlight, and we're fasting for the removal of the devil's world in the dawn of a new day.
Yes,
The
sir.
12th month represents the end of the year. We're talking about, we want him to come to a conclusion,
Mm. Come on.
right? We want a new day.
Yes, sir.
We want a new government.
Yes, sir.
We're looking to build a new nation,
That's right.
not an old nation. We want to build something new out of the old,
Yes, sir.
right? So I don't want to go any further. I hope I warmed up your mind to understanding that there's an old world going out and a new world coming in.
Yes, sir.
And as the messenger teaches us in our Savior has arrived, he makes all things new. That's in the scriptures as well.
That's right. Yes, sir.
So he had to even give us a new Islam. But the messenger teaches us that Islam constantly renews itself. Right?
That's right.
Some things as a principle, they last forever. But we, as Muslims, we must be quick moving, fast thinking right down to modern times.
That's right. Yes, sir.
So a lot of the old world Muslims are stuck in old world ways and old world practices that serve the old world and no longer serve the new world, let alone the future world that we're getting ready to enter into.
Mm. That's right.
And until they come into the light of truth, of not just saying Satan and the devil, but knowing exactly who Satan and who the devil is, and the origin of the devil.
Yes, sir.
The light of truth, so that the devil can no longer be the invisible man.
Teach. Teach.
They're looking out for the jinn and don't realize the correlation between the jinn, genesis, and the genetic man.
Mm.
The word jinn, genesis, and genetics are all the same root word. And they're under the false pretense that because they are light-skinned, that they're somehow brothers with this man.
Wake us up.
They are practicing colorism as taught to them by their European counterparts.
That's right. Teach.
We in the Nation of Islam, we not prejudiced. And we not into no colorism.
That's right.
We say the white man only because that's what our people used to hear. He ain't the white man. Messages say he named himself that to get out of his real name.
Mm.
His real name is the devil.
That's right. Yes, sir. Teach.
We're not talking bad about him. I've had them corner me up and listen to me. I didn't want to teach them. They forced me to. Every one of them bear witness. It was easy to get them to bear witness to who they are.
Yes, sir.
But it's difficult to get our people to bear witness.
Mm.
Our people is asleep, but they not.
Listen.
Out of the four that has hemmed me up and demanded me give them an explanation, when they heard the explanation, they submitted and bore witness.
Think over that.
I ain't got no problem with them. We the Muslims have the least problems with them in there. I get invited to everything that they got. I had 3 of them wanted me to run for office. I said, no, I can't take that. I can't take you up. It's not going to be in my wheelhouse and my background. I'm not apologizing for nothing that I say. But they had the means too. So that's true that that level of friendship, the friendship in all walks of life, that type of friendship, that type of, on that level, is universal when you come into the principles of Islam. But we can't pull no punches when it comes to calling him who he is, because the whole world is suffering because they're in some stage of darkness.
That's right. Yes, sir.
They're either in the darkness of night, relying on moonlight, or they're in the darkness of a cave, relying on no light at all.
That's right.
Right?
Yes, sir.
But when we come into the sunlight, we're ready and prepared for the battle in the dawn of a new day.
Yes, sir.
I hope I got across to you well today, and I hope I was able to warm it up for my beloved brother Minister Daniel, who is very diligent and taking on a lot of responsibility, and is blessed to have the way to articulate to the people this message in this hour. We're blessed to have a brother who is going to stand up for this teaching. There's a reason in the scripture when you saw who was it, Jonah, when he saw that God had chose him to deliver the message, that he took off running. And it wasn't because Jonah was a fool, it's just because Jonah was wise. See, many of us want the accolade. We want the reward of being a minister, or as they say, a pastor. We want the reward, but we don't necessarily want the work and the responsibility.
That's right.
Right? We just want the finished product. But a smart man would run from the job.
Yes,
Give it to somebody else, you say. Why are you picking me? I'm on the beach having a good time, minding my business. And I heard about them so-and-sos over there in Nineveh. they don't take kindly to instructions. So we got to be able to appreciate a brother who's willing to take a stand in this hour, because our people is a piece of work.
Yes, sir.
You think that our mission and our problem comes from the end, from the other guy. You think our problem comes from the other guy? No, our number one problem comes from our own people. Am I right?
That's right. Right.
He's number two problem.
He's right.
We number one problem.
That's right.
We love that dark hole and that dark pit. We don't want to see no light. You turn a light on, first thing you say, man, why you ruining my high?
Yes, sir.
Right? So we're lucky to have a brother that's so good and so benevolent to come and speak to us and labor and deliver a message that I know is inspiring to me. So without further ado, I'd like to bring up our brother minister Daniel Shabazz.
Let's give our brother Abdul another round of applause. Beautiful opening. In the name of Allah, the Beneficent, the All-Wise, true and living God, who came to us in the person of Master Farad Muhammad. We can never thank Almighty God Allah for his coming. And we can never thank him enough for raising in our midst a divine leader and teacher. And I speak none other than the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. So it is in those two great men's name I greet each and every one of you in our nation's greeting words of peace and paradise in the Arabic language of Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam.
How's everybody feel today?
Good. Yes, sir.
Oh, praise be to Allah. It's always a blessing and an honor to be among you. And we're always thankful to have you here with us, because we know there's places that you can't be. And in a time where see our people, and not only our people, but the world, falling apart. There's no better place to be than in a place where the truth is being taught. The truth, as the brother said, is the light. The light that'll guide us in this world of darkness that we see. So we are always thankful to be gathered in a place where we can learn the truth. And not only just the truth, but the truth that came to us from God. There's a lot of truth out there. But this is a truth that was given to us straight from the mouth of Almighty God himself. You can't find this in the schoolhouses. This is that knowledge that you ain't gonna find in college.
Yes, sir.
And it's not because the knowledge is not true. It's because there are those that don't want this truth to be told.
Yes, sir.
And they're doing all that they can to prevent, especially you and I, from receiving the truth.
Mm-hmm.
So they're not going to put this in the college. As we were having a discussion before our meeting today, I was speaking with our beloved sister, and I was explaining on how the devil is not going to teach us the truth. Why would the devil teach us the truth? If the devil was to teach us the truth, it'd be like telling on itself.
Mm.
What criminal you know goes into the police department and tells them he just committed the crime? He'll be setting himself up for jail time, right?
Right.
Well, this is the same thing with the devil.
Mm-hmm.
If he was to tell us the truth about all of this that's going on today, he'd be the guilty. Because he the one started all of this madness.
Mm-hmm.
Everything we see going on today is a product of his imagination on a world that he brought on to us.
Yes, sir.
Look around in the world today. What do we see? We see a world that has gone mad. We see crime, murder. Just turn on your television. Turn on the radio. Go on the internet. Surf the internet. All you're going to see is a lot of destruction. But where did it all come from? The Honorable Elijah Muhammad didn't just say that the white man is the devil because, oh, he put us through slavery.
Mm.
No, he said that the white man is the devil due to his nature.
Mm-hmm.
I made an example earlier today of the nature of a dog. Dogs bark at noise, sudden noises and movements. You know, they can't help it. That's their nature.
Yes, sir.
Car drive down the street, they start barking. If they're in the house and somebody walk up to the door, they start barking, right? That's their nature. Nobody had to teach them that.
Yes, sir.
They just did it. That's it, because nature. And in order to get them to stop, we have to train them.
Right.
Teach them to not do that, right?
Right.
So that's taking them out of their nature.
Mm. Yes, sir.
The Honorable Elijah Muhammad teaches us that the white man's nature is to rule.
Mm-hmm.
He was made and produced to rule over those that were already here. This is why in the Bible, when it talk about the making of man, The Honorable Elijah Muhammad pointed out to us that that's the making of the white man. And I'm just going over this briefly before I get into my subject. But I want to make this clear because a lot of our people they struggle with this understanding of the white man being the devil. In Genesis chapter 1, verse 26, if y'all allow me a moment, I'm going to read it.
Yes, sir.
Because we got to make this very clear. You know, I met a brother yesterday while I'm looking for my second pair of eyes. Y'all give me a moment. Met a brother at the gas pump yesterday. And I offered him Muhammad Speaks newspaper. Immediately, the brother says, "Oh, no, I'm Christian." I said, "I understand that, brother. But this paper is dedicated you to the black man and woman here in America." And I said, "You are a black man. So there's information in here that's for you. Has nothing to do with you being a Christian, brother. Just has something to do with you being a black man." He said, "Yeah, I understand, but," and he repeated himself, "but I'm Christian." I said, "Okay, yes, sir." And he goes into some of his beliefs and what he heard about our beliefs. And we got to this point in Genesis where it talk about the white man. Because in our discussion, he said that he don't believe that man is God. Fair enough. That's your belief.
Mm-hmm.
And I explained to the brother, well, belief doesn't mean, just because you believe something doesn't mean it's true. Right. That's just your belief. I said, let's talk about truth. Let's go into the Bible. Because the Bible teaches us that God is man, and man is God. But before I get there, let me read this. Because this is going to help us get a little understanding of our will. Now, chapter 1, if you have your Bibles, those of you viewing us online, go to chapter 1, verse 26, where God is speaking. He said, it says, then God said, let us make man. Let's stop right there. Because it's very important we understand something. Make. Now, from our understanding under the Christian religion, we're taught that Genesis chapter 1 is referring to the creation. Is that right? Because it starts off as like this. In the beginning. The beginning. What does the beginning mean? In the beginning. Right? This means the very start. In the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. Now let's stop right there, because it's another word we gotta pay attention to. Created. In the beginning, God created heaven and earth. It goes on to say, the earth was without form and void, and darkness was over the face of the deep, and the Spirit of God was hovering over the face of the waters. Now that's another, I will go a little bit elaborate into that, but I'm gonna save that for another election. he said this, and let there be light, right? And this is where he created light. But I want to point out some things on these two words. In the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth.
Yes, sir.
Many of us never really paid attention to these two words. To create means to take nothing and make something.
Mm-hmm.
When you create a heaven and the earth, he didn't need no material. He just created something from nothing. There was nothing out there. It teaches us that. There was nothing in the universe. There was nothing out there. So he created something. But when it came to man, and we didn't go through all of the things that was part of creation. We just got to the 26th verse. When he got to man, he made a man. Now to make something is to take from creation and then make something. Just like this podium. This podium is made because it was taken from a tree that's part of creation, right?
Yes, sir.
And they cut the tree down and fashioned it into a podium. These walls are made of material that come from creation. If you know anything about construction, or you speaking to a contractor and they're going into they're about to build a building, you never hear them say, we're going to create a building. Right? If you go into any of these manufacturing companies, you never hear them say, we're going to create some tennis shoes. We're going to create a wardrobe. No, they're going to make it. Because creation is already here. It's already created. They're just using the material from creation to make something, to fashion it into something that they desire to build, right? And I want this to be understood because this is explaining what the Honorable Elijah Muhammad was teaching us on the making of a man. Now, many of us believed that Genesis was referring to, or Adam was the first man on the planet. Now, this conversation I had with the young brother yesterday, and you know, I want to say this, if the young brother ever tunes in, I pray that he does. He's a very good, intelligent brother. You know, I have a lot of love for this brother because he was very intelligent. He knew the Bible. And sometimes I like to be challenged. You know, when you get this wisdom and knowledge, sometimes we look for a challenge, you know, because when you have something like this truth, you know, you want to share it with everyone. And when you want, and sometimes you want to just prove it to somebody. So the brother, he challenged me. And this is the second time I met this young brother. I met him before, previous, and we had a long conversation then. But the brother said, I explained to him on Genesis, this was the making of the white man. And that Adam was the first white. Adam represents the whole entire white race. It wasn't talking about, Adam was not representing everybody on the planet Earth. But this is what we're taught under Christianity, and this is what we believe as Christians, right? That Adam was the first man on the planet. But the Bible don't teach that. I asked the Christians, where do we find that at? Because it never tells us that Adam was the first man on the planet. It don't say that in here. And to follow up on that, it teaches us that Adam and Eve, which is two people, they had two sons, right?
Mm-hmm.
Cain and Abel.
Mm-hmm.
That's 4 people, right? We all know math. We all can do math. This is simple math. Addition. Simplest form of math. 4 people on the whole planet. Cain kills Abel. Now I'm speeding through the history. I ain't going through the whole story. Just giving you an idea of. I'm trying to get you to my point. Cain kills Cain kills Abel. That makes 3 people on the planet, right?
Yes, sir.
You got a -1. Now there's 3 people on the planet. Cain gets banished to the land of Nod.
Mm-hmm.
Now remember, Cain said, he was talking, he said that something about they would kill him. Who's the they?
Mm-hmm.
Who's they that will kill him?
Mm-hmm.
That he was referring to. Well, anyway, he goes to this land of Nod, where he what? Finds a wife.
Right.
Where did this wife come from?
Mm-hmm.
If these were the only 3 people on the planet, and he gets, first of all, banished to a land called Nod. Usually, if a land has a name attached to it, it's because there's civilization on it.
Yes, sir.
So he got banished to a land called Nod, where he finds himself a wife.
That's right.
This is showing us that there were people already on the planet.
Mm-hmm.
This is why God said, let us make man in our image. Let us. Who was the us? That he wanted to make a man in our image. So think about it. If I make a car in the image of a Toyota Prius, in the likeness of a Toyota Prius, so basically what I'm doing is making another Prius, right? It's going to do exactly what this Prius do, because I'm making it just like it. Matter of fact, it's in its image. You may not even tell the difference. Rides the same, drive the same, look the same. They have a little difference in appearance here and there because I'm making it from the original. So the Bible is teaching us something, but it was hidden in our face the whole time. The preacher, who by the way was taught the religion and how to teach it, he never taught us the difference between the creation and the making of a man. In fact, the Honorable Elijah Muhammad teaches us that the Christian preacher is the biggest hindrance to our people because he stands in the way of the people in the truth.
Yes, sir.
They know, most of them know the truth,
Mm-hmm.
but they won't teach it.
Mm-hmm.
They standing in our way. Instead, they want to teach falsehood and lies to us just to keep that position that they were given. They want to stay sitting in the king's seat. The preachers and the pastors are treated like royalty. They want that respect that they get by being called pastor, deacon, bishop. They don't care nothing about giving the people the truth.
Mm-hmm.
So let's go forward. I mean, we're going to go backwards. Make and create. Now, the Honorable Elijah Muhammad teaches us that Adam represents the entire white race.
Mm-hmm.
When the Bible was referring to Adam, it wasn't talking about one person.
Mm-hmm.
Talking about a nation of people.
Mm-hmm.
We got to ask ourselves, Where did all of these people come from? We got all of these different, everybody wants to say, well, we all came from the same place. True enough, but we're not the same people. We're all different. We look different. We walk different. Some of us talk different. We're different. White people and black people are actually the two opposites. And I'm not just talking about physical appearance. I'm talking about in nature.
Yes, sir.
We're total opposites. Now, let's get back to the making of this man. In the making, God said this. He said, let us make man in our image, after our likeness, and let them have dominion over the fish of the sea, and over the birds of the heavens, and over the livestock, and over all the earth, and over every creeping thing that creeps on the earth. God is given dominion, as brother said earlier, over everything. God is making him a God. Because he has the power over everything, right?
Yes, sir.
Dominion. If you look that word up, dominion. Let's see if I can find it real quick. For those of you who are tuning in with us on social media, look up this word, dominion.
I got it for you, brother.
Oh, yes, sir. You don't mind reading that for us, Brother Abdul?
Dominion refers to supreme authority, sovereignty, or control, often denoting the power to rule or govern a territory. It signifies absolute ownership or dominion over a person, animal, or object.
Think over that. It signifies absolute control. Think about that. He made a God.
Yes, sir.
Over the world.
Yes, sir.
So, was the brother saying he don't believe that man is God? Well, he ain't looking because his eyes is closed.
Right.
If you open your eye, you can see there's a God ruling the world right now. This God been ruling over us for over 400 years here. He had the power to do us just like he wanted to, with no consequences. Who went to jail for enslaving our people? Nobody. Why? Because the man making the law was the God over us.
Right.
The same person who was enslaving us.
Yes, sir.
Showing us that he was a God. Power and force.
Yes, sir.
The possessor of power and force. That's what God is. See, God is a title. God is not necessarily an individual. It can be if he fulfills that title. God is just a title. I remember growing up as a little boy, I thought God was a name. I thought that was just what you call the supreme being, God, because I thought that was his name. Until I learned that that's his title.
Yes, sir.
The devil was a God. He's the God of evil.
Yes, sir.
And unrighteousness, in which we see what was being made in the beginning. If you notice in the book, there was never no sin or nothing until after that man was made.
Yes, sir.
They talk about a snake, though. This is how crafty the devil is.
Mm.
He hid it in symbolic language, as the Honorable Elijah Muhammad teaches us. This is why he called the Bible the poison book. Because he took the truth, he didn't take it all the way out of here, he just hid it in symbolic language by adding falsehood into it, covering it up a little bit so you couldn't see it. You know, it's like he just sprinkled something over it so when you walked in, it's there, but you don't see it. So he put a snake in the Bible. Said a snake whispered into Eve's ear. Right? What do you call a person when I was in the streets and there was a person that I couldn't trust? Someone who was sneaky, conniving. We would call him a snake. He's a snake, don't trust him. Right?
Yes, sir.
Well, this is the same thing in the Bible. It was describing the type of person by using a snake because that was the characteristics of that person who whispered in Eve's ear. The Bible can be very misleading. If you just read this and believe everything word for word, it can mislead you. Because this is what, and in fact, this is what happened to us under Christianity. We've been misled and we had a misinterpretation of the Bible. So it caused us to be confused. We believe Revelations teach us about a dragon.
Right.
With 10 heads. Right? A dragon. If you look up the word dragon, it'll tell you that that's a mythical creature. Mythical means that it's not even real. They made it up. There's never been a dragon on this earth, ever. That's a mythical creature. We don't believe in myths, do we?
No, sir.
All right. So, why did they put it in the Bible like that? It was to hide the truth from the black man. It also was to describe certain characteristics. The Bible also mentions a beast coming out of the earth. A beast in Revelations. And that beast, as the Honorable Elijah Muhammad teaches us, is none other than the white man. He said he is the beast that the Bible was referring to. Why? Because he has a beast-like nature. And he has beast-like characteristics.
Yes, sir.
Any man that can savagely murder and kill an innocent person gotta be a beast. That's a beast do in the wild.
Yes, sir.
You know, being attacked by a wild animal.
Yes.
They viciously destroy they prey.
Right.
Viciously. You know? No mercy. Just you know, no warning either. Just attack it.
Yes, sir.
This is
Yes,
how
sir.
we've been done under
Yes, sir.
this white man here in America.
Yes, sir.
He viciously attacked us. This is why the Bible describes him as a beast. How can you do a man like this? Do you know this is how wicked these people are? Or have been to us? Under slavery, they used to take a man, tie him up, put hot tar on him, and throw feathers on him. Line his family up on the porch. The mother, and she's pregnant, and the children, to watch this. They tie his feet. As he's tied up with hot tar all over him, feathers, They tie him up to the back of a horse, and they slap the horse on the back side, and the horse take off running, dragging this man, and they'll drag him till his flesh fall off of his body. And he's alive. Just imagine that. What kind of man? Who would even think of something like that?
Yeah.
You gotta be, that's right, the devil. You gotta be just wicked to even have that thought to do that to somebody.
Yes, sir.
In front of his family. His children, little children have to watch that. His wife, who's pregnant, watching that. And they did that to instill fear into us. Them children grew up fearing the white man. Because the natural order of a household is the man, the woman, and the child, right? The man is supposed to be the provider and the protector. The children look up to the father, right? Because in a child's eyes, your father is the strongest person you know, right? But to see that man being belittled and murdered in that way will cause you to fear the person that do that to your father, right? They would also do this. Take a pregnant woman in front of the family, cut her belly open, let the baby just fall out, and take the heel of their boot and crush his skull.
Beast.
This is why the Bible describes them as a beast.
Yes, sir.
And here our people want to argue with us about us referring to them for who they are. The devil. We don't just say that for any old reason because we have a way we feel about white people. No. We just telling the truth. That's all.
Yes, sir.
So, by them being able to do us like that, with no consequences, shows us that in the Bible, Genesis was talking about them. They're the ones who have dominion over the air.
Yes, sir.
The fowl of the air. We all know it.
Yes, sir.
They have what they call the Air Force.
Yep.
Right?
Airspace. Yep.
They control the airspace. You can't even fly in the air without permission.
Yes, sir.
And I learned something too. A little bit about real estate. I didn't even know when you buy your home, the air over your home is owned by somebody else.
Yes, sir.
You don't own that.
No,
you have to get permission. This is why they tell you, oh, you can build a fence, but it has to be a certain amount high. Why can't I build a wall tall as I want it?
Right.
They give you regulations because you can't go that far. They the ones telling you how high to make your business.
Yes, sir.
Because they have what? Dominion.
Yes, sir.
That's right.
Yes, sir.
This is what the Bible teaches us. Oh, praise God. They have dominion over the sea.
Yes, sir.
They got the Navy out there and them big old ships armed with destructive weapons, telling everybody you can't come over here in this sea without permission. Is that right?
That's right.
And on the land,
Yes, sir.
they got the Army, the Marines. You can't, they control this.
Yes, sir.
This devil got a base almost everywhere on the planet.
Yes, sir.
The only place you're going to see an army base from another country.
Right.
In their land.
Right.
How is that? Who are these people they can do that? Well, the Bible told us. This was the making of the devil. The making of the man was the white man that was given dominion over the earth and everything on it.
Yes, sir.
This is why, if you're paying attention to today's time and what's going on over there in the East, they're fighting to remain in power. Amen.